Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into this really powerful metaphor, this idea of a single vine that explains so much, from our purpose in life to why finding real connection can sometimes cause friction with the world around us. We're going to break down how this ancient image of a vine and its branches really lays out a kind of blueprint for a meaningful life. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the absolute core of this whole thing, the vine and the branches. Then we'll look at what it actually means to have a fruitful purpose. From there, we'll get to the heart of it all with the command to love. We'll also see this incredible shift in relationship from being servants to friends. And finally, we'll tackle the tough part, why this connection can lead to conflict with the world. All right, first things first, to really get what this passage is all about, you have to understand that everything, and I mean everything, hinges on this one powerful central image. So we've got to start right here. And there it is. The speaker says they're the vine, the Father is the gardener, and you, the listeners, are the branches. It sounds simple, right? It's this organic, natural picture. But it's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to discuss. And it's all built on two huge ideas, connection and dependence. Let's be really clear about who's who. The vine isn't just some passive trellis, it's the actual source of life. The gardener isn't just watching from a distance, they're actively cultivating and caring for things. And the branches, well, they're the individuals whose entire existence, their whole purpose, depends on staying connected to that vine. Okay, so you're connected, what's the point? It's definitely not about just hanging around. The text makes it incredibly clear that this connection has a very specific purpose. And honestly, every single branch is facing a pretty stark choice. And the consequences are, well, they're dramatic. And you can see the two possible outcomes laid out right here. It's pretty black and white. If a branch doesn't bear any fruit, it's cut off, it dries up, and it's destroyed. But here's the interesting part. If a branch does bear fruit, it doesn't just get left alone. The gardener prunes it. Now, that's not a punishment. It's actually done to help it become even more fruitful, even more productive. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do you actually do that? How do you bear fruit? Well, the text gives us a pretty clear path. Step one is the most important. You have to remain in the vine. That connection allows the vine's words, its essence, its life, to really sink in and remain in you. And that deep connection opens up this direct line where you can ask for what you need with the promise that it'll happen. And if there was any doubt about this whole dependence thing, the text just hits you with this one super blunt statement. It's a total mic drop. A branch that's cut off from its life source is powerless. It can't achieve its purpose. It can do, as it says right here, absolutely nothing. So we know the goal is to be fruitful, but what does that actually look like in practice? What are we supposed to do? This is where the text makes a huge pivot from the what and the why to the how, the absolute core principle that's supposed to guide how every branch behaves. And the answer couldn't be more direct. It's not a long list of complicated rules. The ultimate proof of that connection to the vine, the very fruit the branches are meant to produce, is this one single command: love each other. But this isn't some vague, feel-good Hallmark card version of love. The text gets really specific, and it defines love by its ultimate expression. It sets this incredibly high, radical standard. The greatest form of love, it says, is being willing to lay down your very life for your friends. You know, when you start talking about that kind of sacrificial love, it completely changes the game. It fundamentally redefines the relationship. The connection between the vine and the branches, it evolves into something totally new. And the contrast here is just night and day. Think about it. A servant, they follow orders, but they don't really know the bigger picture, the why behind it all. But a friend is brought into the inner circle. They're told everything. They understand the purpose behind it all. It's a totally different dynamic. And being called a friend here isn't just a nice little title change. It comes with a real mission. You're chosen, you're appointed, and you're sent out to produce fruit that will last. And this friendship status confirms that direct line, that access to ask the Father. But here's the catch. This incredible new identity, the status as a friend of the vine, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. The text gives a pretty serious warning that this unique, deep connection is going to create some inevitable conflict with the outside world. And the warning is about as direct as it gets. It's basically saying, hey, heads up, the world is going to hate you. But then it immediately reframes it. This hostility isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. No, it's actually presented as a sign that you share something in common with the vine. It's proof of your connection. So you have to ask, why? Why all the hate? According to the text, it all boils down to one simple idea: allegiance. The world loves what belongs to it, what's familiar. But because the branches have been chosen out of the world, they don't belong to that system anymore. And because of that, they become the target of its hate. And this isn't just random animosity. The text lays out a very clear logic, a cause and effect, for why this happens. First, the simple principle. A servant isn't greater than their master, so if the vine was persecuted, the branches should expect the same thing. Second, the reason for the world's hostility is that they don't know the gardener who started this whole thing. And finally, this hatred is actually framed as a fulfillment of what was already written in their scriptures. And all of this, it brings us to one final, really powerful question, doesn't it? We've seen that this idea of remaining in the vine is the source of everything good: life, purpose, love. But we've also seen it's the direct cause of rejection and persecution from the world. So we're left with this to think about. With so much at stake on both sides, what does it truly mean to remain?